I guess the first thing I wanted to start off with is I think a lot of people that might be watching this are wondering, like what is the reality of this independent contractor rule change? We've been hearing about it forever. We're not going to be employees. I'm starting to hear this from people now. Like, you were talking about this so long ago before. It seems like the product, it's never going to really happen. What's going on? Why would it be so black and white to be employee or not employee? Why wouldn't we just stick with the independent contractor rules that have been in place for years? Or if they were to be tweaked out, why wouldn't they just be tweaked? Why would it have to go so dramatic one way or the other? And that's what I kind of am hearing. And I'm not trying to put like fear out there, but I also don't want people getting too comfortable with the fact that it's, in my opinion, it's a big reality. Am I wrong?
That's not opinion. It's fact. So I was in a Zoom meeting last week before I went to the Bruce Springsteen concert and got COVID. I was in this Zoom meeting with Illinois state lawmakers. They were talking about the independent contractor issue, and there was a woman there representing the Illinois AFL-CIO. And as we all know, the AFL-CIO has been the driving force behind pushing this effort to wipe out a lot of independent contractors. It has been several years now of these policies being shown to fail in ways that Karen Anderson can talk about for hours on end. She knows the ins and outs of all of it. This woman last week from the AFL-CIO walked into this meeting, introduced herself by saying, "We continue to favor a strict ABC test." And as I sat in that meeting, they described independent contractors as Uber drivers, illegal immigrants, and felons, which I called them out on and explained that that's absolutely ridiculous. And there was a moment that I think encapsulates everything that's been going on, where the chairman of the committee, the state committee in the legislature in Illinois that was in this meeting, was talking about how he thought this ABC test wouldn't affect him because he was a independent contractor who did real estate appraisals for real estate companies. And since he worked with multiple real estate companies, he'd be absolutely fine because he was a legitimate independent contractor. And I interrupted and said, "I'm so sorry to tell you, but part B of this ABC test that the AFL-CIO is pushing for nationwide puts you out of business too. Welcome to the state of California. You're now one of us who's going to lose everything. And this is everything we've been fighting against." And a hush fell over that room like you wouldn't believe. So the idea that this is going to stop anytime soon, I think, is fantasy. They are continuing to push for it at the state levels. They're continuing to push for it at the federal level. Just over Labor Day weekend, I don't know how many of the lawmakers I saw promoting the PRO Act over on Twitter. And we're about to have this regulatory change at the U.S. Labor Department that will get them as close to this as they think they can get without the Supreme Court stopping them through a regulatory change instead of a legislative change. But they made absolutely no bones about the fact that they still favor this. They're still pushing for this. The fight is still on.